What is going on, YouTube? It's Primitive here, and today I'm going to be showing you the deck list that won the store championships at Rocky Mountain Collectibles. You all wanted the deck list, so bringing it here to you here. So today we're going to have Joey to bring it to you. So, getting into this list is really good versus Lord Nightmon, but as Joey will talk about a little bit, it may not be the best versus other metas if you don't have a lot of Lord Nightmon. So, what do you have to say?
Alright, so I played green, and I picked like this specific green deck because I really hate playing the Lord Nightmon mirror. It feels like I'm sitting there like doing nothing forever. So I knew that I wouldn't want to go into this playing Lord Nightmon because I'd have to run into at least 2 or 3 people playing Lord Nightmon. And so I didn't want to play Rookie Rush either because all of the people in our meta have learned how to play around Rookie Rush, which means I needed to switch off of Rookie Rush. So that's why we're on green right now, because it was this or I don't play. Yeah. True. So like going into babies, we have, what is it? We have 4 Yokomon and 1 Argomon. So you always play 4 Yokomon. There's absolutely no choice. You have to play 4 Yokomon because you need the 2k DP Digiburst to get over some break lines. And you might think that, oh, so we can get away with just playing 4 babies, but with Mimi, you have to play the 5th baby because you need it, because the best way to make your aggro game right now in green, when you're not just like straight up playing Rookie Rush, is to sit on a level 5, tap your Mimi, hatch an egg, Digivolve, and then send it up, tap your Mimi, hatch an egg, Digivolve. So you run through 5 eggs before your opponent goes through like 2. Yeah. Like you literally need all of your eggs. And in fact, I almost played a Yoshino in this deck just to recycle an egg.
That's insane.
Not even for the memory thing, just because I wanted another egg.
That would have been amazing.
Yeah. In terms of tamers, we are playing 3 Mimis. You cannot play less Mimis. There are people out there who say you can play 2 Mimis. That is a lie. If you play 2 Mimis and you don't see a Mimi in your Lord Nightmon matchup, or basically any matchup where your opponent does all of their plays off of 3 memory, you get choked to hell and back and you just die. So your memory tamers are the most important thing. If you're sitting on like a random slot in your deck, play another Mimi. Because once again, when these aren't just like your memory effects, these are also all of your aggro. If you have 3 Mimis out, you can go hatch, Digivolve, suspend Mimi to raise, swing, suspend another Mimi, hatch an egg, suspend Mimi, raise, and swing. So you can get 2 attacks off of having 3 Mimis out. So multiple Mimis are like not repetitive in this deck. Like having many of them out really helps you. In terms of options, I'm playing 1 Hidden Potential Discovered and 2 Flower Cannon. You have to play Hidden Potential Discovered. It opens up a whole bunch of crazy plays, forces your opponents to have like the cute mons and the Sayako mons or whatever. It makes it so you can do one cost Chaos Mons, 0 cost Nidhogg Mons, just like crazy bullshit. And then you need and then I'm playing Flower Cannons. Some people are playing Needle Spray over Flower Cannons. A friend back home in Illinois told me that I should play Flower Cannons over the Needle Sprays, and I just tried it out. And basically, like, I didn't have a single game where the security effect wasn't important, which is just like sort of like a weird thing that happens. And basically the way that I look at it is if in the meta you're in a situation where like there's one thing that you need to keep resuspending, then the Needle Sprays are better. But if you need to go against a wide board, like you're going against Lord Nightmon or Rookie Rush or anything like that, the Flower Cannons are your best bet. And then they just absolutely sack your opponent sometimes. Yeah, so for rookies, I am playing 2 Terriermon, 3 Palmon, 2 Lilamon, 4 Tentomon, 1 Argomon, and 1 Goblymon. This is really flexible as long as you're playing at least 1 or 2 Lalamon and a couple Palmon to be able to get over like numbers. So like these 2-cost rookies could become Terriermons, Tentomons could become something else, etc. These are just your most important ones, and these are just like trying to smooth out your curves and stuff. The reason why it's one Argomon and one Goblymon is we used to have like an Omnimon Turbo player way back like in BT1, and I just
BT4
and BT4, yeah. And I just started playing these, and I was just too lazy to swap them out for something else. Tentomons are really nice because they are like, you can hard play them to get value off of them if you have to. So you don't have to Digivolve on top of them. So you can start getting that aggro game going, even if like you don't like specifically need it. Or it can smooth out your draws when you need to go like you're on 3 memory, they're on 3 memory. So you can go Tentomon to draw 2 cards still, and now you have 2 rookies on the board to try and aggro them out. Lalamon is just your resource engine here. Especially when you're focusing on like the Mimi aggro plan, Lalamons help you to keep that flowing, but you could probably cut this down to 1. It's not like super important, it's just nice. Terriermon stops Blinding Ray. You want to stop Blinding Ray. Blinding Ray kills you. Palmons. These help you hit over certain DP thresholds, which are like really important, that we'll get into when we get to the level 6s. You may think that it's not important because you're either going to sit on a Rafflesiamon or you're going to sit on just like a Nidhogg with no materials, but there was a couple matches where I needed a Palmon. Otherwise it wouldn't have worked out. In terms of champions, I'm playing a really weird champion lineup. 4 Kabuterimon, 4 Weedmon, 3 Vegiemon, and 1 Woodmon. Most people are literally just playing 4 Veggie, 4 Weed, 4 Kabuterimon. I'm playing 1 Woodmon. To be completely honest, I'm playing 1 extra Woodmon just because I forgot to take it out. But it was really important in a lot of different matchups. If they leave me at 1, I can Digivolve into Woodmon to put them to 1. If something happens, they leave me on 3 and I want to choke them, we can play this to make that cost even lower. If they do like a turn 1 TK or a turn 1, basically any tamer that costs 4, I can play Woodmon in response and be able to take advantage of some of the memory. So like I can play like a 2-cost Digimon and then I can play a Woodmon and I'm not giving them that much memory back. But these Digimon here are non-optional. You need as many 1-cost to Digivolve champions as possible, because that's how you do your control game, is you have to just make like a really big stack and use the level 6's effect to sort of like keep moving forward. In terms of level 5s, I'm playing 2 Cherrymon, 1 Metal Tyranno, 2 Lilamon, 2 Blossomon, and 1 Argomon. The reason why I'm not playing 4 Blossomon, 1 Argomon is because when you're in the Lord Nightmon matchup, which you run into the most where I am right now, you are going to sit on a Digimon in Raising, and you can't Digizorb in Raising. So you still need the Digisorption cards to get a fast Nidhogg, but the level 2, the 2-cost level 5s are just so much more helpful in a lot of these matchups. Lilamon is just Flower Cannon on a body. Its effect never came into play, but I did need its Digiburst a couple times during the tournament. And then the reason why I'm playing Cherrymon here and a Metal Tyrannomon is because I expected to run into some more Rookie Rush, but I didn't run into a single Rookie Rush. And Cherrymon works pretty okay against Rookie Rush. It's a blocker that has a high-ish DP value, and it has the same breakpoints against Spiral Masquerade as Piximon does. If they have 3 Digimons out, your Digimon dies. But it's also a blocker, and Piximon's not a blocker. Against Lord Nightmon, this is actually worse than having the Piximons, because it means that they can kill your Cherrymon. Like, that 1k like matters a whole bunch, because they can like minus it 1 and then do minus 6k and it just like blows up. But that never happened, and it was never a problem.
It also gets hit by Valderarm.
Yeah, it gets hit by Valderarm. Piximon, they have to have Valderarm, and then they have to have a Pikmon. Metal Tyrannomon is because I wanted to screw with my friend, and I thought it would be cute to play a Metal Tyrannomon. It has the exact same costs over here as like what we were looking at earlier with like the Cherrymon and stuff, but Its lower DP cost means that it is actually like a huge liability. But if you can Digivolve on top of this, it is like a removal machine. So like we were talking about earlier with like removal options and things like that, if I have like a Rafflegiamon with a Metal Tyrannomon under it, I can Digiburst the Yokomon, give this plus 2k, give it another plus 2k, swing over a Lord Nightmon, unsuspend it, and then either get a security check or swing over something else as well. But it also gets absolutely ridiculous with another Mega, Bancho Stingmon. Basically, if you have a Bancho Stingmon, you swing over their Lord Nightmon, you gain 6k DP, so it goes up to a 7k attacker, piercing 3 checks off of security, and then it unsuspends, so you get to do another 3 checks, so you get to pseudo OTK them. And if you have just another rookie out, it can just totally like screw them over. My round 2 matchup, that literally won me the game because my opponent just was not able to deal with the fact that in one turn, I literally like killed 2 things on their board and then went into a Valder Arm and killed the rest of their board.
Yeah, go back and watch his match in the finals of the Store Championship and watch game 2, and you can see Bancho Stingmon do exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah. So the Bancho Stingmon was a huge meta call because I knew that I would be running into Lord Nightmon. And I did run into a Shoutmon deck, but it didn't come up against Shoutmon. But all of my Lord Nightmon matchups came to I won because I had Bancho Stingmon. Like there was like the second to last game that I played that night, I would have lost against Lord Nightmon if I didn't have Bancho Stingmon to kill their Lord Nightmon and then kill the rest of their board by Digivolving into Valder Arm. It's just really good right now, but if you're running into like a lot of purple, it's absolutely useless because the only thing in purple that sits on 12 is Chaos Gallantmon, and like that's not even a bad matchup to begin with, so you would rather run something that helps you control their board than run Bancho Stingmon and try to get like a cheeky extra couple checks. Other level 6s, I'm running 4 Rafflegiamon and 3 Nidhoggmon. You run 4 Rafflegiamon because the longer you can keep your opponent from swinging and getting value, be they Shoutmon, be they Lord Nightmon, be they, whatchamacallit, the blue one. Ancient Garuru, or
Hexablau.
even Hexablau, is more time that you have to build up the rest of their board and go over them. You can go down to 1 if you really need another level 6, but in this meta, I have no clue what level 6 you would play that wouldn't be like Bancho Stingmon or Mega Gargomon, and this just does what Mega Gargomon does, but better. So yeah. And then you have to play Nidhoggs in this format. You don't have a choice. Nidhogg is dumb. Nidhogg wipes their board if they're trying to sit on a whole bunch of rookies. Or you can suspend stuff with Flower Cannon and then try to wipe their board. You can just do a lot of things. If like your Lord Nightmon, your Hexablaumon player, your Shoutmon player gets a little overzealous, you Digivolve into Nidhoggmon, Digiburst, wipe their board, and then you're sitting on a 13k beater. So they have to get over 13k, which if you just wipe to their board, they're not going to be able to do in like 90% of matchups. So, and then in terms of level 7s, 2 Valder Arm. These are really great because what you can do is you can go on top of a dead Nidhogg and use these, or you can go on top of Rafflegiamon that you don't have any more Rafflegiamons to play on top of and just sort of like wipe what they're doing. In terms of matchups for like the actual tournament, I ran into, so the first thing I played against was purple. They just couldn't deal with what I was doing at all. I just made a really big board and they just died. Second game was Shoutmon. Round 1, so like the first game, I lost terribly. They just like straight up killed me with a Shoutmon. And then games 2 and 3, I just choked them out with Rafflegiamon and Nidhoggmons until they couldn't do anything else. And like hit for like 1 security at a time. Third match was against Lord Nightmon. First game, we both bricked, but I got lucky and I was able to undo my brick better than he was. That was something that like super came up that was important. I can play a Needle Spray on turn 1 without there being a Digimon on board and only pass on 2, which means that they can't go into Champion then Ultimate without giving me 2 memory, which makes it so I can go champion and ultimate and catch back up to them. It's almost like I didn't even miss a turn. But if you give them that one extra memory, they can go champion, ultimate, mega in one turn. And that's an amount of value that you can't always catch back up with without like hidden potential discovered or something else. And then the second game of that match, I absolutely blew him out with Bancho Stingmon on Metal Tyrannomon, just straight up OTK'd him in one turn. Game 4 is actually up on the channel if you want to go ahead and give that a watch. Don't want to spoil too much, but it wasn't too bad. Game 1 was pretty smooth. Game 2 was a little choppy for my opponent, and he just didn't respect the Bancho, and it just blew him up. So yeah, I don't know if I would super recommend this for your meta, because like you can tailor this really specifically to beat Lord Nightmon, and that's like cool and all, but if your meta is not playing a lot of Lord Nightmon, if they're going off of Lord Nightmon onto other things like Ancient Karuru and stuff, it ends up getting like a lot worse, and you're gonna have to like re-tech this deck to play against like whatever they're playing. Green has the ability to play against like anything in this meta, but you can't just like play one deck build and expect it to be able to deal with everything. You're gonna need to like tailor the deck to whatever they're playing. So I wouldn't net deck this specifically. I would stop for a second, think about whatever is happening right now in your local meta. So like I knew I was going to run into at least 2 Lord Nightmons, so I can sit here and I can go, I want to play a Metal Tyranno and Bancho Stingmon and just try to like absolutely kill them in one turn, because I knew I was going to run into that. But if I ran into Rookie Rush all day, that would be completely useless, and I would want to swap those out for an additional Nidhoggmon and some additional blockers. I would probably drop both Bancho Stingmons to go for a 4th Nidhoggmon, and then bring in another Woodmon. So yeah. In terms of like shoutouts and stuff, I want to send like a shout out to my friend Eric back home. He was like super helpful in getting me started in this game. If he didn't help me like get the cards to start doing like green builds and stuff back in like the original like BTO1 format, I probably wouldn't be sitting here telling you about how I won a store championship with green nonsense. So yeah. And then all the people at Rocky Mountain Collectibles are great people. If you're ever in the Denver area, you should come check us out. You should come play against me. I need more people who haven't seen my Gabumon deck to learn the love and joy of playing Gabumon for 3, and that's it. So yeah. All right,
everybody. If you enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe, and I will be back tomorrow with some more matches and deck list profiles. So have a great day. Peace out.